Hello friends, today we are going to see some more MuleSoft important questions. So let's start. What is MuleSoft? For what MuleSoft is used for? So MuleSoft is the most widely used integration platform. We will find two types, which is nothing but Mule ESB and Cloud Hub for connecting enterprise and SaaS applications in the non-premises and cloud. MuleSoft allows developers to connect applications together quickly and easily, and it helps in exchanging the data. Why the name Mule? There is a lot of infrastructure work to be done before we can really start thinking about implementing any logic. So this infrastructure work is regarded as donkey work as it needs doing for every project. So in Mule, it is commonly referred to as a carrier offload, moving it from one place to another. This is nothing but the load which specializes in moving in our enterprise information. What is model layer in Mule? The first logical layer is the model layer. A Mule model represents the runtime environment that hosts services. It defines the behavior of Mule when processing requests handled by services. The model provides services with supporting features such as exception strategies. It also provides services with default values that simplify their configuration. What is the transformer in Mule? A transformer takes care of translating the content of a message from one form to another form. It is possible to chain transformers to accumulate their effects. Next question. What is global endpoint in Mule? An endpoint destination that is shared by several routers. It is worth creating a global endpoint. A global endpoint is not typified for inbound or outbound routing, making it usable in many different places in a configuration file. It must be named so it can actually be used in a service which will reference the global endpoint by its name. A global endpoint can also help to clarify the usage of a particular destination. Next question. Is MuleSoft a middleware? We all know that MuleSoft is a middleware. Mule's Enterprise Service Bus is a middleware technology that quickly, easily, and securely connects the enterprise. Unlike typical middleware software, Mule as an ESB is a Java-based middleware solution that is easy to use and easy to scale. Next question. When does Mule instantiate connector? If Mule figures out that one of our endpoints need a particular connector, it will automatically instantiate one for us using all the default values for its different configuration parameters. This is a perfectly viable approach if we are satisfied with the behavior of the connector when it uses its default configuration. What is connector in Mule? A connector is in charge of controlling the usage of a particular protocol. It is configured with parameters that are specific to this protocol and holds any state that can be shared with the underlying entities in charge of the actual communications. For example, a JMS connector is configured with a connection which is shared by the different entities in charge of the actual communication. Next question. What is caching and why to use it? Caching is a concept which is used to store frequently used data in the memory, file system, or database, which saves processing time and load if it would have to be accessed from original source location every time. Next question. What are the various types of exception handling and in Mule ESB? There are four types of exception handling in Mule ESB. They are default exception handling, global exception handling, catch exception handling, and choice exception handling. Next question. Why Mule was designed? Mule's core was designed as an event-driven framework combined with a unified representation of messages expandable with pluggable modules. These modules would provide support for a wide range of transports or add extra features such as distributed transactions, security, or management. The Mule was also designed as a programmatic framework offering programmers that means to graft additional behavior such as specific message processing or custom data transformation. Next question. What is service layer in Mule? A Mule service is composed of all the Mule entities involved in processing particular requests in predefined manners. A service is also defined by a specific configuration. This configuration determines the different elements from the different layers of responsibility that will be mobilized to process the requests that it will be open to receive. Depending on the type of input channel it uses, a service may or may not be publicly accessible outside of the ESB. What are shared resources in Mule and how are they being used? We can make connectors as a reusable component by defining them as common resources and expose them to all the applications deployed under the same domain. These resources are known as shared resources. This shared resources needs to be defined inside the Mule domain project and then referred to each of the projects that are meant to use the elements in it. Next question. What is the difference between Mule connectors and transports Mule ESB? Transports are targeted towards a way of transporting data, that is, a protocol like HTTP or reading or writing files. These are general concepts and the other party behind such a data channel can be anything, or a pure data sink or a party with whom data can be exchanged, one company or other. Connectors. Connectors are made for using specific APIs. Example, those from Salesforce.com or Facebook. Usually, choosing a connector also determines how the data will be transferred in the end. Example, HTTP. Next question. Why the MuleSoft is preferred than other ESB implementations? We all know that Mule is lightweight but highly scalable, allowing you to start small and connect more applications over time. The ESB manages all the interactions between applications and components transparently, regardless of whether they exist in the same virtual machine or over the internet, and regardless of the underlying transport protocol used. Several commercial ESB implementations provide limited functionality or built on top of an existing application server or messaging server, locking you into the specific vendor. Mule is vendor neutral, so different vendor implementations can plug into it. You are never locked into a specific vendor when you use Mule. So, MuleSoft is preferred than other ESB implementations. Next question. How we will identify ESB is needed in a project? Implementation of ESB is not suitable for all the projects. We should analyze it is really ESB is required here or not. You need to analyze by taking below points into consideration. In the project, if the project requires 3 or more applications and services to be integrated, and there must be a need to communicate between the applications because to exchange the data from one system to another system. If it is interacting with more applications and services in the future, then we can go with Mule ESB because it is highly scalable. We need to keep cost also in mind before going to ESB implementation. What is shared context? Context is a temporary area which is created along with service message object, which is nothing but SMO in the mediation flows. Shared context is a type of context which is present in the SMO. Shared context is mainly used when we are using aggregation process where we need to iterate the BO for certain times. Shared context maintains aggregation data between aggregation, fan-out and fan-in primitives. The content, which is nothing but the data, which presents in the shared context BO does not persist across request and response flows. That is, the data in the shared context which is used in request flow cannot be used again in response flow. Next question. What is transient context? Transient context used for passing values between mediation primitives within the current flow, either the request flow or the responses flow. The transient context cannot link requests and responses and hence cannot be used across. It is used when you want to save an input message before a service invokes call, that is within a request or response flow. After the services invoke call, the next primitive can create another message by combining the service invoke response and the original message stored in the transient context. Next question. What is correlation context? Correlation context is used for when mediation primitives want to pass values from the request flow to the response flow. It is also used to pass values from the request message onto the response. Next question. Difference between callout and service invoke. The service invoke primitive is used to make a service request in either a request or response mediation flow. The service may be request or response or one-way. Multiple instances of the service invoke primitive are permitted in a flow, allowing a series of service invocations to be performed. Callout. The callout receives the message and calls the requested service and operation. There is a callout node for each connected target operation in the mediation flow. If the call is successful, the callout response node in the response flow receives the response message. If the call is unsuccessful, the callout can be set to retry message invocations depending on the type of fault received. So we have seen like two differences between like if the call is successful and if what will be the response, and if the call is not unsuccessful, what will be the response. Next question. How can you implement a loop in mediation? And implementing a loop in mediation can be done by using fan-in and fan-out primitives. Next question. What is the functionality of fan-in and fan-out? Fan-out. We can use the fan-out primitive to fire the output terminal once within the input message or to fire the output terminal multiple times. You can use fan out in isolation or as part of a fan out and fan in combination. Fan in. Fan in is always partnered with a fan out in the same flow and acts as a decision point for when to continue flow execution. It receives a number of messages until a decision point is reached, at which point the last message to be received is propagated to the output terminal. The fan in primitive may only be used in combination with fan out. Next question. What are the configurations required for JDBC adapter implementation? Data source needs to be created and need to be configured with database. If we have security, then it needs to create security authentication. Next question. What is the difference between stop and fail? Stop. Stops a particular path in the flow without generating an exception. When it comes to fail, it generates a failure in the flow itself. Next question. What is a mule UMO? A mule UMO is a universal message object. UMO is now a legacy term. What once referred to as UMO components are now referred to as service components. Next question. If mule won't start, check your environment. The Java and Mule environment variables must be set up correctly for Mule to start. If you are experiencing problems, check the following variables. Below are the variables. Check all of the above carefully. Some systems with multiple JDKs installed can end up with incorrect mappings between the path and the Java home, which will stop Mule from loading. Next question. What is Mule Data Integrator? Mule has released a data integrator tool. It is a visual mapping tool which supports flat file, Java object, XML mappings, etc. Coding complex mappings can be very tedious and additionally difficult to maintain. The Mule Data Integrator with drag and drop facilitates making, building and maintaining mappings very simple. This mapping is done in Eclipse, plugins required and executed on a data integrator runtime which sits on top of Mule ESB, which requires a license. Next question. What is a web service API? Application Programming Interface is the means to write code by third parties to interface with other systems. A web service is one of the types of API that always operates over HTTP like SOAP and other transports like SMTP. Next question. What are all the primitives used in mediation? We have different types of primitives in mediation. Message filter. Some of them are listed below. They are type filter, endpoint lookup, service invoke, fan out, fan in, XSLT, BO map, message element setter, DB lookup, data handler, custom mediation, header setters, message logger, event emitter, stop, fail, subflow. So, below are some of the more real-time important interview questions which are asked. Explain about creating APIs. How do you differentiate between RAML and REST API? Is it same or different? Explain how to create SOAP Web Services API. Do you know about XML thread protection policy? If you want to push your code to any point platform, what steps could you ensure that your code is deployed? Friends, the question can be asked in many terms. I will come up with few more important videos. Please subscribe to my channel and keep learning. Thank you.